What's up everybody, it's Dragos from Strong Dragon Training, and today I want to give you guys a short and quick little video about stretching. My previous video, aka yesterday, I gave you guys a in-home workout for the core, for the abs, lower back, obliques and everything. And today I want to take you guys just a little bit through the stretching of all these different body parts. And I want to start right off the bat with something that stretches out in your hip joint and your lower back, okay? So your hips, your lower back, your pelvis, everything is interconnected down there. So if you have very tight hips and everything like your psoas major and everything in your hip, your glutes, they're all tight, that's going to impact on your lower back and your core, and everything's going to be thrown out of whack. So what I want you guys to try out for yourselves at home is have something to sit on like this and start off simply by crossing your legs like so. The first step I want you guys to do is on your knee, give it just a tiny little bit of pressure, pushing it down. What you're looking is to feel right on the side here, a little bit in your quad and going down into your hip on the side, right? So gently push down, keep your back for now nice and tall, and just breathe nicely and relaxed. Okay, so this one I want you guys to hold for 30 seconds. Now once 30 seconds are up, nice and easy, you're going to let go of your knee, and I want you to gently first bend forward. Just simply like this, don't worry about pushing anything down on your knee. First just bend over as far as your hips and your pelvis and everything allows you to go forward, okay? So in this one over here, depending on how tight your hip is, how tight your lower back is, you may feel more of a strain on the side over here, or it's going to start going into your lower back, okay? If you have good hip mobility, then your lower back is going to start feeling the stretch, and if you don't, then you're a little bit, you need to give it more time to loosen up that hip. So you want to reach forward as far as possible, relax everything in your body, and just as you go down, breathe out. And just try to relax everything, try to loosen out everything, and always be careful not to go to the point of pain. You don't want to go where your hip is just aching and you're going there and holding for dear life just to hold that stretch out and hopefully stretch out, because the more you put pressure on that hip and the more the hip resists, the more the muscles around and inside the hip, the ligaments are going to all tighten up and start resisting you. So at this point you're doing a workout which is damaging your ligaments, your tendons and your muscles. So go as low as you can. You want to feel that little bit of tension, that little bit of stretch, and then you're staying there for 30 seconds. Another thing you don't want to do, and I've covered this in my previous stretching video, is this kind of thing. You can go low, but you keep on pumping that hip up, hoping that you're going to go lower and lower next time. That is not the case. So what I want you to be careful of is just once you go down, hold there. You find that sweet spot of just a little bit amount of pain, and then you hold. If you find that your hip is good enough and you're feeling it a little bit going to your lower back, you can take it to the next level, push your knee down again, and then on top of that, boom, stretch yourself down and let yourself fall on top of a knee that is pushed down. Okay, so with this one, and I mean if you find that there's a little bit of a even amount of pain, or the stretch rather, both in your hip and your lower back, you can target for both. Let at first your knees stay up and just stretch down nicely, because another benefit of having your knee up like this is you get just a little bit of your hamstring down towards your glutes. So your glutes get kicked in and then your hamstring gets kicked in. Then you can push it down as far as it goes, and boom, just reach yourself down, and that again will lift it a little bit higher, your lower back. What you do on one side, you gotta do on the other as well. And as you guys can see, my right hip is a little bit worse than my left hip. So I need to try to do these way more often as well. But again, back is straight, and just letting it go, relax. I'm not trying to push it down like this. I'm not trying to force it to go beyond. At this point, I'm feeling a little bit of hip stretch, a little bit of glutes. I am good to go. I'm just gonna chill and relax here for 30 seconds. Once that is up, I'm letting my knee rather go up a little bit, and I am dropping myself down as low as possible. Right, just like on the other one, for myself at least, I think I've gotten a little bit of more flexibility in as I've went through my things of stretching. So I've managed to get out of the hip only feeling in this position to going into my lower back. So that's why I can tell you guys, if you are not in this position feeling anything in your lower back, then your hip is taking over control of everything and it's way too tight. So you gotta do this one 2 to 3 times a day, if not at least after your workout. Try to stretch it out. Stretch it out and just relax. So ideally, if I could recommend, if in an ideal world you want to do it in the morning, just do a little bit of loosening up and then go through a stretching routine. Afternoon, stretch a little bit, and in the evening, stretch a little bit. Stretching is something that's going to help your joints for years and years to come, and as the body ages, you can keep those joints limber to not cause any kind of damage, any muscle pulls, any bone breaking or tearing or things like that. So it's definitely something of a good habit to get into. The earlier in your life, the better. So once I'm done with that one, 30 seconds, I push the knee down, and then boom, I go down as low as possible. And this one I feel going into my lower back a little bit more than the other one, and still in my hip too a little bit, but it's not as much as it used to be a couple of weeks back. So once I'm done with this one, getting everything loose in my lower back, what I'm going to do up next, I'm going to keep my feet apart just a little bit wider than my shoulder width, so approximately there. First and foremost, I'm going to try to stretch right in between. Now when I go down like this one, it's going to impact into your adductor slash hamstring, so on the inside of the legs and the bottom side of the other leg, but also in your lower back a little bit. Again, depending on how your hip is and how flexible it is, it may impact one or the other. So I'm going to go right into the center. Try ideally to touch your hands to the floor. That's your goal. And you're just going to, again, let everything loose, and ideally I try to even let my head down, to relax so much that my whole spine is just down. And I hold that for 30 seconds. Now as soon as I finish that, I open my legs even wider, and I'm trying to go opposite down. So your right hand goes to your left foot, you reach towards the left ankle, and you get just a little bit of a pull from the ankle down. Now this one gets it from the lats and going down almost diagonally into the back onto the other side. You feel it at first. So pull in ever so gently and try to get as low as possible in, holding that there for 30 seconds. Now, most people, what they do is they go straight to the other side. What I recommend, just to give your back a little bit of a break and a reset. Once you're done on one side, straighten up, let everything kind of fall back into place before you go to the other side. And then you hold. And then you hold. 30 seconds worth of hold on that one, nice and easy breathing. Now that I am on the back torquing point of the stretch, I want to go a little bit higher now and move away from the lower back, get into my spine and into my obliques. So I'm going back now into my cross legs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put my elbow against the knee that is on top, and from there, push away. Push as hard as you can away, and just hold this one in. Again, depending on how much of a flexibility you have within your spine and your obliques, this kind of torque, you'll feel it mostly around the lat area, the mid-lats area, but that's because your spine is trying to get that torque in and your obliques are very tight. So everything is getting pulled back in, and sometimes, in some cases, I find that people say, oh, I'm feeling it a lot in my lats, but it's actually a little bit deeper than your lats when you're doing this one. So twist in as much as possible, as far back as possible, 30 seconds worth, and then you rest. You come up to the front, switch legs, other arm against the leg, boom, pushing back. What I also find is that looking back towards the direction that you stretch allows a better stretch. Now, whether that's in my mind or whatever the case may be, I just find that my body is more lenient to twisting more when I try to look in that direction. Similar to when you're driving, you're taking a turn, looking where you turn gets you there right on target, as opposed to going to the right and you're looking to the left. You'll end up going towards the left. So I find my body responds just as well as the turn when I look in the direction that I stretch, okay? Now after this one, again, I want to go just a little bit one more time into my lower back as I step up and off the bench. I keep my legs quite a bit apart and unlock the knees. Key thing on this one is if your knees is locked and you're going down like this, you're gonna get a full hamstring stretch, and that's for leg day. If you keep the legs unlocked and then just let your body dangle down as low as possible, you're gonna feel everything from the top of your hip moving upwards into your lats, and the more dangly your arms are, the more you're going to stretch everything up through your spine. Alright, so a couple of more stretches for the obliques that I also try to throw into my little routine is this one over here. Start with the legs relatively wide. Now if you have something like I have this pole over here, maybe a door frame or some other support pole or pillar in your house, I try to go up and on the side like this, almost the same position if you guys have ever seen people doing a flag, holding themselves off the body straight. It's the same startup point for these ones. So your bottom hand is the one that pushes in and tries to push away through the obstacle, your support pole. The other one is the one that is holding you together and is providing the stretch on the side. So in this position over here, my knees are loose, and what I do is I push with the lower hand away and I hold for dear life with my upper hand. And at this point, together with my leg that is closest to the obstacle, I push away and I lean towards the side opposite, right? So this leg takes pretty much no pressure, just leaning in. This one is taking a full push pressure together with the hand. This hand, this arm that's on the top, is taking the pressure holding you from falling. So just let it all loose in and hold. And you're looking into a nice stretch into your obliques. Your lats are going to be hit into this one as well, so it's a very good lat stretch as well. But everything that attaches into your underarm is going to get stretched out, and then everything on the side, like your obliques and everything, are just going to stretch. Now, from this point of view, you got to remember too that the obliques are muscles that have the fiber going this way and this way. So by stretching them out in this target, in this range, you're actually spreading out the fiber. So you're not stretching the fiber in the lengthwise that it is, you're actually spreading them apart. So still a good stretch, still a good way to loosen up everything, and you get a little bit of a bonus with the lats. So pushing in on the other side, and boom. And just holding that there. Again, if your lats are super tight, you're going to feel them just a little bit more than on the side. Now, a little bit of an alternative to this one, if you actually don't have anything to hold on to, you can also go into a wide stance and then just go onto the side like this, right? So just lean onto one side, and then once you're ready, lean on to the other side. I find this one, it is quite effective. For me personally, I find that I need to hold beyond the 30 seconds to actually get that stretch in my oblique, whereas with this push and pull, yes, I target the lat as well because it has to engage a little bit to hold me into position, but I find that I can stretch a little bit more aggressively on the side. Personal preference, you guys can do either or. Now, one of the simple ones that I do for the front, the rectus abdominis, is the old traditional wide stance, holding, supporting from the lower back, whichever way you'd like, and pushing forward as far as you find comfortable. Now, even with me here, you gotta be careful with a little bit of the lower back. I sometimes find that if I'm really tired or I'm a little bit, hard workout, blah, 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 balance on this one is going to be a little bit key, and you'll be tempted to flex the abs a little bit more than you actually stretch them. So be very careful on this one how you target it, because it's a very good rectus abdominis stretch, but it can also be a little bit tricky in the sense of how you activate them, how you don't. You can also do the cobra stretch that they do in yoga, but again, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not going to go through those crazy yoga poses because, like I said, I haven't studied them. I'm not too familiar with them. I just go with basic muscle stretches, and I'm trying to show you guys over here. So, basic one, feet apart, hands behind your lower back, and stretch it out. Just let yourself loose backwards as far as you can. Let your head go back. Feel everything from up top at your, what they call the xiphoid process, right below your solar plexus, going down all the way into the pelvis. So just let everything stretch. Have your support here. Have your hands on the side. Whatever it may be, just make sure you do it everything control, and for God's sake, be very careful on this one. Do not let yourself down and then pull up too suddenly. You're going to pull something in your lower back like you wouldn't believe. So this is one of those exercises that you want to dive very gently into it. Keep your focus, your control, and when we come out, boom, come up. Let everything come together nicely and easily. And the final one that I want to share with you guys, this is a little bit of an option if you have something in your house to help you with this. I always like to stretch everything from top to bottom on my spine, just take a little bit of a decompression on the spine, right? Now they have those tables out there you can buy. You can strap yourself in and put the table upside down. If you have this straight, you can hook your legs onto something and just hang upside down. I find it works just as well if I have something to grab a hold of. I put my legs up at front and then I just let my knees loose, so I can technically take the legs off and off the floor if I would like to, because I have this hand grip and the hand strength, forearm and hand strength to hold myself up. If you don't have to worry about it. You'll get the same nice stretch, still keeping your feet on the floor and just dangling down. Let everything loose. The only thing right now that is tight and strong is your hand holding you on this obstacle or on this lever or whatever you have in your house. And just let everything from top to bottom loosen up as much as you can. Once you're ready, again, just like with the rectus abdominis, don't just jump out of this stretch and you're good to go. Put your feet down, plant them firmly on the floor, and gently come out of it. Let your spine readjust to everything that you've just done. So very simple stretches, very to the point, targeting the muscle that you wanted to and helping the core overall together with your hips and everything on the inside to just stretch out. So again, I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not going to go through any of the crazy stretches out there. These are some of the basic stretches. Of course, there's so much more stretches out there you can do for the deeper muscles. I'm going to cover those in some of the later videos. But for now, based on what we've done yesterday, these are some of the ideal key stretches you could do right after the workout from my previous video. So please check that video out. Subscribe and like this one. Thank you so much for following my channel and watching this one. Share with anybody that you think might benefit from these videos, especially if they have a weaker back. They've gone through a core workout to try to strengthen that back. The back is all tight and achy now, and it's really giving them a hard time that, wow, what you just do to me. A good stretch session is going to be an amazing thing for them to just loosen everything up and help the back and the lower back and the core rebuild, build more fibers, and get stronger over time. My name is Giles from Strong Dragon Training. Thank you again for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button because I'll be posting more and more. The next video I'm going to post aka tomorrow, is going to be another in-home workout, and after that I'm going to get you guys through some more stretches and try to build your strength from the inside out. Strong Dragon Training, push until you hit a wall and then break right through it. I'll catch you guys on my next video.